Hello there everyone, Ashnflash here, and welcome on into a interesting sort of video. We did this when talking about Indiana Jones and the potential for Indiana Jones coming out again next year for LEGO, and then returning to that theme in 2022 because we are getting the 5th movie. And I think that with the recent development of the brand new Amazon Lord of the Rings show, I thought that we would just sit down and talk about the potential of the theme coming back, just in general, as well as maybe being tied to the show. Because I saw this on a friend of mine's post, and he was talking about the potential of it, and I was thinking to myself, I can't see it happening personally, at least from some of the things that I've heard from about sales and things like that when it came to the theme. How, at least for Lord of the Rings, I think they sold pretty well, like we got a lot of waves, but for The Hobbit, it did not do as well at all. So anyways, I thought that we would just sit down and talk about this, and I wound up posting it to you guys over on the community tab, which is just like we did last week, which I'm kind of enjoying, posting something on the community tab for a poll, having you guys interact, and then doing a video talking about it. But anyways, so far I posed to you guys, do you want them to bring the theme back? Do you not care? And no, don't bring it back at all. And this is what we've gotten so far, about 5 hours ago. And the results are actually quite interesting. So 58% of the people that voted want the theme to come back. 35% of the people don't care, which we'll kind of talk about because I don't think it's as relevant as it used to be. And then 7% don't want this theme to come back at all. So the number's only going to shift and change as we go through, but technically speaking, that means that 42% of the people don't really have an interest in Lord of the Rings coming back. So I think that's a pretty powerful number, but if you want to continue and participate and let your opinion be heard there, or you can leave it down below on this video. So I thought that we'd talk about this because we got our first look at the show this week. And I think that it's really interesting because when it comes to Lord of the Rings, I personally really enjoyed the sets. I got a lot, I think quite a lot of them from the first wave. I wanted to get at least the Fellowship for sure, and I got Helm's Deep, and it's just such an incredible set. And then I think that I continued to get some of the sets, like specifically when they came back and they did like a small little set for Rivendell. I was so excited about that. And even though it was just like this crummy little thing, I was just really excited about it. And I loved the world and dimensions as well. And that was, I think that would have been the last time that we got something for it. But anyways, the potential of there being sets based off of the show next year, I really don't see it happening because I think the rumor right now is that it's going to be R-rated. And it doesn't surprise me because Amazon is typically doing a lot of those different shows right now that are R-rated when it comes to the content that they're putting up there on Prime Video. So it wouldn't surprise me if they wanted to make it more gory and just amp it up a lot more than the movies and everything like that. So I could definitely see that being the case, and then LEGO not doing anything off the shows. I kind of think that anything off the shows is out the window. Like this picture here that we got this week, it looks great. I am excited about the show, but I just can't see LEGO doing something like that for a show that is R-rated. Now, that's not to say that next year they wouldn't do a set based off of the old movies. There's still a ton of locations that we never wound up actually getting. Specifically, it's called the Two Towers. We only got one tower, and I think another one that a lot of people want is Minas Tirith, but you could even go back as well and just do Helm's Deep or other iconic locations that I think that 18 plus fans of Lord of the Rings would be interested in going and getting. I definitely see the potential here for at least 18 plus sets. I can't really see them doing a whole theme. I just don't think that it has the legs anymore to really do that. I think it's a very niche market when it comes to that, or at least it's a lot older. So doing themes, doing small $20 sets, like I just don't see the appeal for kids. And I heard this today, but Lord of the Rings isn't really used as a book anymore, or I guess The Hobbit and all that isn't really used anymore when it comes to things taught in the classroom for kids. So I think now they're really exposed to like Harry Potter and things like that. So I just can't really see them having that demographic any more interested in it. I think that the biggest thing that they could do is 18 plus sets. I really think that going back and doing these big locations and things like that, even the towers, I really think that would just be the smartest move to do if they were to do it. And don't brand it under the TV show, like just brand it under, hey, we brought back this theme that you guys have wanted. It's been a while, and we're just going to do some fun sets. And I think that I could see them doing that for Indiana Jones next year, even if they don't do something for the movie. I just think that that's definitely a possibility. But I guess we could see potentially one set off the show, but again, if it's R-rated, it's just not something that Lego normally does, so it'd be very uncharacteristic of them. But who knows at this point? You know, they're branching out, they're doing so many other things. Why not push the envelope and do that? Another thing I just want to mention is how important the theme was. Like, if you look at the swords and things that we're using, it came from that theme. Like, we're still using a lot of the different pieces and things like that from that theme. And even like pushing the envelope wise, like there is quite a lot of mature things, and even when it comes to the orcs and their deaths and all that stuff and the blood, it is quite crazy to see how far they kind of went with it. Like, there's even the guy that blows himself up in Helm's Deep. So, and looking at that zombie Captain America that we're getting in the CMF series and seeing other toys and just the actual model in the show, like, listen, Lego's doing a ton of things, and the fact that that's in a $5 little blind bag, I really think anything's possible. So why not do sets on the show? And the last thing that I think I just want to talk about here is we do know that there is at least a market for Lego when it comes to wanting Lord of the Rings. Well, first of all, the poll already has 9,000 votes. Big chunk of them want Lord of the Rings to come back, but what I'm trying to say here is when it comes to ideas, it's already had a couple of different projects that have reached 10K already that have been, I think, declined, or maybe there's some in review. I'm pretty sure one of them has already been declined. You'll see on screen. But I think that that's another good test for them to look at and be like, huh, look at all these projects that are being submitted to ideas, and look how many of them are reaching 10K. There is an interest here. Maybe we should look into this. And I think that that is something that they do. I think that really it surprises me when something like Sonic is accepted and that they aren't just going to do it on their own, or even with like Zelda. Like, I think that that's why they're holding off on that, because they'll do it on their own. And I think when it comes to this, they see, huh, Lord of the Rings has reached 10K multiple times. Maybe we should bring it back on our own. And maybe that's been in development, because I think that those projects only like more recently got accepted and hit 10K. So I definitely see that being another thing that Lego will look at and go, wow, maybe we can bring it back. And maybe we can market it under it being for 18 plus, because they're loving these adult things. And I think that that is the core demographic that they're wanting to reach. And I just think with ideas, it's the perfect like marketing for them to see what is good and what they could take and do outside of ideas, not having to give the creator anything and certain things like that. But that's a whole other topic and video that I should do, because it's been kind of interesting to see some of the ideas that they've done for ideas that have been made into sets. Anyways, everyone, I would love to hear your thoughts about this. Please go check out that poll and add to the conversation if you want. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I'm not necessarily too optimistic about it. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I hope you all have a great day. I will see you all in the next one.